welcome back to the next video. In this video I will show you how to apply Sepia matrix to a live camera preview as well as image capture in React Native's new architecture for Android using Camera X as well as Media 3 effect. First things first, I am using React Native version 80. I am not using any third-party library. I will be writing native code with the help of the documentation which you are seeing right now in front of my screen. So yeah, let's get started. So first you need to create a React Native project using this command, but here instead of demo you can write your own project name, whatever you feel like. Once you are done, we need to create this folder. So what I would recommend is don't follow this particular thing because here they are using the name as WebView. I'm not using WebView because here in my case what they do in this documentation is they created a custom WebView just to show an example on how to embed a native Android view inside your React Native application. But here we are embedding a camera, so the naming will be a little bit different. And of course the naming is very important because behind the scenes we need to do some code generation part as well. So it's better you follow what I am doing if you are doing this kind of stuff for the very first time. So if you see, they first create a folder called specs. Okay, so here you can see they have given the structure, right? So I have just created a React Native project. Okay, then you need to create a folder called specs. Okay, I'll just minimize everything. So in the root of your React Native project you need to create a folder called specs. Okay, we'll come to this file later on. Then it tells us to inside our Android main folder create Java com WebView, but in our case we won't create a WebView, we create a package called my camera. Okay, you can name it whatever you feel like, but like I said, if you name it differently you will have to change it everywhere else. So go to Android app src main java com, and here inside com create a folder called my camera. Okay, then scroll down. Then here we are creating this TypeScript file. So here you follow the name. In our case it would be my camera native component.ts inside the specs folder. Now I have literally copy pasted everything, but I have changed few things. So first you need to go to I'll just close this, go to specs, and here create this TypeScript file. Now here I have firstly copy pasted it from the documentation, but I have changed few things, like I don't require this stuff. Okay, so I have removed that, but instead what we are doing is we are creating a native components called custom my camera. Okay, but once an image is taken, we need to send that image from native Android side to React Native side, right? So that's why we have to add this particular thing. And if you see here we are just referencing this, so it will basically send the path of the image taken. That's what we are doing over here, nothing else. All right, let's just scroll down. Then here inside package.json we need to add this bit of code. So I just went to my package.json, and here you can see I have added this bit of code. Again you need to write my camera over here as well as rct my camera over here. So don't just blindly copy paste, otherwise you will face issue. Okay, then you just need to open your terminal. Okay, and I will just cd to my test app or my React Native application. I'll clear everything out, and you just have to run npm install. Otherwise you will face lot of issues if you try to directly run this. Okay, then go to the Android section, and here you can see first we need to cd to the Android folder. So here we are running the codegen command, that's why the naming is important, and you need to run this particular command. So I have already ran it, but I'll just run it just for the sake of it. So yeah, that's it. Now let it run. The next thing is we need to create this react webview.kt, but in our case it will be react my camera.kt, right? So before that we need to include some dependencies for Camera X. So you need to go to Android app src main build.gradle.kts, and here inside dependencies block you need to add camera core, camera 2, camera lifecycle, camera view, then Android X camera media 3 effect, which is still in alpha at the time of me recording this video, as well as Android media 3 effect. If this version does become stable by the time you guys are watching it, make sure you use the stable version. Then go to Android manifest.xml. Here you need to add internet permission, which is present by default. Then we add this uses feature of Android hardware camera permission, as well as write external storage permission. Then we need to go to Java my camera, and here first we need to create a Kotlin file called react my camera. Okay, now the package name also should be the same, package com.mycamera, whatever is your folder name. Now here there are bunch of imports, so basically you will have to pause the video over here and just copy all these imports. Sorry about this. Then here we take a context Then here we initialize our context. Here is our camera, here is our camera preview, here is the image capture event also. Then here we initialize a button. So for capturing a image we require a button, right? That's why we have a button. Here is our camera preview view, which I am calling it as viewfinder. Then here we initialize our camera executor as well as process camera provider. Then here we are getting hold of our back lens. Here we are getting hold of our current activity. Then inside the init state, we just first set the layout params for our frame layout. Then here for our viewfinder, and here you can see here we have to add this bit of hack, which I will show you in a second why we are doing this. And we add this viewfinder to our add view. Then same for our capture button as well, apply some text, background color, text color, and here we are setting the layout params for our button as well, adding it to our parent view. And we also add a click listener for our button. Then inside the on attach window, I'm just checking if camera permission is there, then only set up the camera. Then inside this on detach window, we just shut down our camera executor as well as unbind our camera provider. Now like I said, we are writing this code. So this is a bit of hack which we have to use, because there is this issue. You can go to this URL. This issue has been opened on GitHub on React Native's repo since 2018 and they have still not fixed it. So that's why we have to use this hack for camera. If you don't write this, you will just see a black screen. You won't see your camera. That's why. Then here we have to use setup camera. So we just get our process camera provider, add a listener to it as well. Then here we bind our camera use case. Here we get the width and height of it. Here we get the rotation as well. Then here we do a camera selector dot builder, require lens facing, lens type. Then here we define our aspect ratio strategy as well. Here is our resolution selector. Then here we initialize our preview view, set the resolution selector as well as target rotation. Then here we do image capture dot builder, set the capture mode, resolution selector as well as target rotation. Then here we do use case group dot builder, add our preview use case as well as image capture use case. Here we define our media 3 effect as well. And here we apply the Sepia matrix which I was talking about. Now like I said, I have even copy pasted this code from documentation. I'm not really sure what these numbers are, so you can play around with this number or maybe even ask ChatGPT to explain it in more detail. And here we have to use RGB matrix to pass the Sepia matrix. Then here we add our media 3 effect to our use case group builder, unbind our camera provider. Then we bind it to the life cycle. We initialize our new camera to our camera. Then here we do preview dot surface provider, add it to our viewfinder surface provider. Then here we called our take photo as well. Here we do initialize our simple date format. Then we use content values dot apply, passing in the display name, MIME type, and if Android version greater than P, we also set the relative path. Then here we do image capture dot output file option by passing in the builder. Then we do image capture dot take picture, and here we get the on image saved callback. So here is the URI of the saved image, and to send it back to React Native side, we are calling this method which I will show you shortly. Then here we unbind our camera provider. This is just a helper method just to check whether we have the camera permission or not, and these are helpful variables. Now like I said, this is the method which I have defined. Now this basically I have this basically I have more or less copied it from the documentation. Like it's pretty what I would say pretty annoying to write this bit of code. Here you can see whenever you want to send some data from native Android side to React Native side from a view, you have to write all this nonsense. So that's why I have to write all this bit of stuff. Again, I have changed it a little bit depending on our TypeScript file, as well as over here you will have to write this bit of code. Okay, then here if you go into the documentation, if you see, they say as to create a manager file, right? So that's what I am doing over here, react my camera manager.kt. Now this I have copy pasted more or less from the documentation. The package name changes, and here everywhere instead of React Web View we are using React my camera over here as well. Here also my camera, and here a little bit changes because we have this event called on image taken. Okay, here as well as over here. So be careful with this, but more or less I have copied it from the documentation. Next we also require, if you see, this package file as well. So come over here and create this react my camera package.kt as well. Again, this is my import. This is my package name, and these are all the imports. Again, this I have literally copy pasted it from the documentation, but again, instead of React Web View we are writing react my camera everywhere. Okay, so be careful. Also, one thing which I have noticed is, which they have not fixed, they have added underscores over here, I think. So as I was mentioning, here you need to don't need to add this underscore. Here they have added this underscore. I don't think that is required, otherwise again you will face lot of issues, so I have removed those underscores. I think they have forgot to update the documentation. Next you need to go to main application.kt, add this import as well as this particular. In our case it will be again little bit different, so go to main application. So here it is, main application.kt, and here I have imported my package, and here I am just adding it to the package list. Alright, next let's see how to use it. So to use it you just need to go to app.tsx over here, and here you can see I have firstly imported all this import, so you can just copy it. Then here I have just taken one state for image URL which we will get from native Android side, and one state for whether the camera permission has been granted or not. Here I am also checking whether the user is using Android 10 or higher, because the write external storage permission is only required if you are using less than Android 10. And here we are calling this request camera and storage permission, so I am just checking it for Android. So here I am requesting camera permission, and for lower Android device both camera and write external storage permission. Here I am just checking whether the permission has been granted or not. So yeah, that's all there is, and just changing the state as well if it is true. Now I am calling this inside the use effect. Now to use it, so I'm just doing if image URL is not equal to empty, then we are displaying the captured image over here. Else if permission if image URL is empty and if camera permission has been granted, then we display our camera. Else I'm just saying give camera permission, and these are all the styles which I have. So yeah, that's all there is to it. Now let's see the output. So I'll just first give the camera permission over here, and here you can, I have recorded the video, so here you can see Sepia matrix been applied, or this RGB matrix, whatever you call it. So yeah, here I'm just moving my camera, then I will just click on this capture button, so it will capture the image for me and will display it inside the image view. So here we are displaying it inside the image view. So yeah, that's all there is to it. If you have any questions, do let me know in the comments. Thank you for watching. Bye.